Not the Bondo. Not the Bondo. Y'all ready to see some more sanding? You know you are. Let's do it. Back to sanding. Don't worry, this ain't gonna take long. We're gonna speed through this pretty quick and knock this out. This is a little bit worse than I thought it was. We got a lot of chips here. Look like somebody tried to pry this off with a screwdriver or something at one time. Surprisingly, it wasn't me. I got these rough edges here. This actually right there, somebody has put Bondo in that corner right there, or some sort of filler. There's a piece of T-molding that goes across this edge here, but this spot here and these spots are really going to stick out. Plus this over here on the edge is really going to stick out. Oh, you can see it. Looks like there's been a little bit of wood filler there too. Dang it, guys. I hate to say this, but we might have to break out some more Bondo. I thought we were done with the Bondo. No, doesn't look like it. Not the Bondo. Not the Bondo. Oh, yay, look. I just so happen to have a brand new can in there. Oh, well, I thought it was a brand new can, or was that all they gave me was half a can? Huh. Oh, once again, mixing way more Bondo than I actually need. I'm going to go ahead and just slap this T-molding groove here full because we're going to recut it. And that Bondo, that'll give us a nice fresh groove. And that T-molding will bond down to it and grab into it a lot better than it did originally. All right, I'm gonna leave that to cure. Oh yeah, we'll be sanding that in no time. So we don't break it, let's sit this down here out of the way. See what else we can get into. See this guy here. This is the panel that the game boards go on. One goes on this side on these standoffs, one goes on this side on these standoffs. And they have little jumpers that go back and forth between them there. They talk to each other. Really ain't a whole lot wrong with this other than it's all kind of rusty and grody and nasty. And I worked so hard on this, I just don't have the heart to stick this back in there like that. I'm going to take some very good pictures of where all these standoffs, what the position that they're in. I'm going to very carefully pull all of them out. I'm going to hit this with the bead blaster real quick, and we're going to probably put some sort of metallic finish on this. Not really metallic, but something metal on this, because this is like a zinc plated piece of metal here, and the zinc plating is the rust has come through it. So I really don't want to get too carried away and put a lot of paint into this. I just want something to make it look better. Get our slide out workbench here ready. Okay. I also got little pieces like this. One goes behind the coin door, one goes behind the control panel. You make sure to get all those taken care of as well. Alright, this one looks pretty clean. I don't see any rust on it, so I don't think we're gonna paint it. Alright, I'm gonna go bead blast this, get it ready to paint. We're gonna get a bunch of stuff lined up, ready to paint. That way it can be drying while we're doing other things. I think I've seen enough sanding, so I'm gonna spare y'all that. And that is the one for the control panel here. So let's go ahead and put him on, shall we? Oh. Alright, that sticks up just enough to catch a slot in the control panel, which the control panel goes up in here, then it drops down. This right here catches into the notch on the bottom of the control panel, and then little latches flip up and get that. You know, I'm going to go ahead and put our tag back on the back here before we forget what this was. That was a close one. Alright, we got some latches that have got to go in down here. I'm going to go out here and figure out what I did with them. I know I had them. Don't know where I put them. But they exist. Told you they exist. They're right down there. You know, we still haven't done a proper video on this DK3 yet. And if we keep going, there ain't going to be enough of it left to do a proper video on. So far, just in the parts alone that I've taken off of this thing. I also got to have a speaker, by the way. This cabinet is already worth picking up. You think I could have moved this thing out and gotten a little bit closer to it, but no, we're being lazy. What the? Oh man. Well, they've soldered the speaker into this one. So we're gonna have to come back and cut those wires. Come on, I don't want to drop that. What happened to the other one? I keep trying to cut the wire and the magnet just snatches the pliers from me. Yeah, see, those are soldered on there. So we're going to resolder them in there. And I left a little bit of the color on there so that way I know which one's positive and negative. Okay, got my hasp on, or my latch on here. We pulled these off of the DK Junior out there, so I do have a little concern. The holes were still here for the screws where they took the original ones off. Why, I don't know, but they took them off and they put these big gaudy shelf brackets in here and put bolts through the control panel and through the side of the cabinet. I just took these off that old DK3 cabinet I've got out there. That cabinet out there had a metal control panel, whereas this one is like the first series of Nintendo cabinets this one has a wooden control panel. So I'm wondering about the thickness and where it's going to line up with the brackets that come off of it. So if we have any issues, what I can do is just take the screws out. There's 2 on each side. I can drop it down to the next, or to where I'm only catching 1 screw on each side, and then I'll take a drill bit, drill a pilot hole through those holes, and then go ahead and move the screws over to those. Which shouldn't be that hard, and it's about a 1/2 inch, which is about the thickness of the control panel. So I should be able to move it a 1/2 inch if those latches are a different height based on it being a thin metal control panel versus the 9/16 thick wood control panel. So, all right, I got that one done. I'm gonna get the one on the other side. And I'm kind of wiping these down with some little Scotch pad here, trying to just knock off a little bit of oxidation that was on there. They're not really badly rust, but they just got a little bit of oxidation, a little like powdery residue that gets on there when it starts. And you can see the backside, it's got a little bit of rust forming on it. It's nothing too serious. All right, moving right along. Let's see if we can get that speaker in there now. Get our speaker drill right here. Get our screws started. Got her sanded down, all looking spiffy. Got a nice clean straight edge there now on the sides there. Put some black on it. Actually, we'd better go ahead and cut this T-molding groove now, because I don't want to paint this and then run my router across it and scuff up my paint. So let's get set up to do that. I misplaced my slot cutter, but found it. Now the tricky part is making sure we set our depth right. And I am going to go by the slot that's already here. Still got a little bit right here that I can use to kind of guide it and line it up. Going to get our safety glasses on. I would really recommend using goggles instead of safety glasses, but this is what we got. Okay, that is not how to do that. So I got this black poster board. We'll try to make a shroud for this monitor. It's the exact width there. And all we got to do is staple it up there at the top and then cut out a hole for the monitor in the middle. All right, we got to have a notch up here in the top corner. We got a fold right here where it's going to staple to the top. And there's a notch in the very center where the bezel bar, lock bar comes through. So I got to make a little hole there for the lock bar to come through. Looks like it's about 10 and a half from each side. Okay. All right, this is going to be tricky because it's not going to be in the center. It's going to be centered this way, but not center up and down. I know that's 20, 21 and 3/4. All right, so our center is going to be 10 and 7/8. We also got to see where our bottom is going to start at. This game does not go off the edge of the picture. It actually has a termination point, and you want to adjust it out to fit the bezel. And I'm not good at this at all, so we might screw this up. And if we do, we'll just run down to the dollar store and get another sheet and try again. So I had a framing square out there that I was going to do this with, but apparently somebody used it to work on a tractor, and it's like covered in grease, oil, and diesel fuel. So we're going to use this stick of wood here. See what the stick says. And my center line there. And that's going to be my bottom. We got a 16th inch height at the center. Our screen isn't perfectly square. It's the sides of our monitor are rounded. They kind of bow out. The widest point is 16. Longest point is 16. And then our widest point is 12. So if I cut this square, I'm going to have the rounded corners of the monitor will be exposed. I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be able to cut a curve right there. What I'll probably do is make a point and then maybe, I say I'm not good enough, but that doesn't mean I won't try. Let's find the center of our screen. Going this way. Okay, so that's 8. It's going to be 8 all the way across to here. And it's like a ½ inch narrower at the ends than it is at the middle. So I need to make the corners come in a ½ inch. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off of each corner, come in there at 8.5. Our center is 6, so that will put us at 5 3/4. All right, so I've got figured my corners there. All right, here we go. stapled up there. It'll hang down after we get this double-sided tape that's all over the front of this thing off and get it cleaned up. I think that's going to work just fine. We'll dust that off and clean it up some. But other than that, I think we're good. I really need to get this thing pulled out, spun around, get back in the back of it where we can start running some more wires and hooking things up. I do want to get the control panel and the bezel finished before we go that far. Got our control panel up here painted. Hopefully when that dries, we'll be able to put that back together. I did order new buttons. Let's take a look at that stick real quick. Okay, so we got our stick here. I got our set screw out. And I sprayed some oil in there. Got a little tab there to grip it with. And it is still not wanting to come off of there. Well, what I would do if I could get this off, and I could still do it with it on there, but I wanted to get it off because I was going to chuck this in a drill and run this on some sanding cloth. The chrome plating has deteriorated and come off of there. I can't re-chrome it. I don't have the facilities to do that. I was going to just polish it as clean as possible, probably put some clear coat on it, and just let it go as is. However, we've done such a nice job with the rest of the cabinet. We may be better. I should probably just go ahead and order another one, save this one for backup. I could actually still do that. I just have to make sure I don't get anything on the plastic here. I've actually tried chucking these up and trying to polish and wax them, and actually got them so hot that it melted the plastic on it and just completely ruined it. I think I did that on one of my gear shifters for my Cruising USA up there. I like to never get it polished back out after I burn it up. I don't know. I'm still going to clean this up, but yeah, we're probably going to go ahead and replace it. We're probably just going to go ahead and replace this because, I mean, you know, we got the rest of that cabinet looking so good. I'd rather it be a good job and look right than, you know, always look at it and I could have done better than that. So when I was painting the control panel, I noticed I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. The top of this had that nice gel coat finish on it, kind of like the side of the Donkey Kong cabinet originally. Very durable, very tough. The control panel overlay goes over it. Get in there. Goes over it like this. And it kind of leaves this painted edge or this exposed edge around the outside. Well, I started to paint this with Rust-Oleum, and then I realized hands are going to be on there, and that's not going to hold up to the durability. So I got a can of black lacquer. I'm going to sand this. I put some Kills primer on here to kind of help fill up any kind of imperfections and stuff. And then I'm fixing to go over it. I'm going to sand this until I can get it super smooth. Then I'm going to put that black lacquer over it, and hopefully that'll be a little bit durable. And I like the texture of the lacquer. It's going to be a lot harder finish. It's not going to be as chewy as the Rust-Oleum. And here's our black lacquer. Right there. That's what we're going to put on there. All right, Joe Ted brought us our lacquer paint. Okay, we got our new buttons came in today. He brought those down here to us too. Let's not break this one like we did the original. Fixing to get this, I'm going to sand this up to probably all the way up to 220. That way I can get it super smooth. And then we're going to hit it with the black lacquer. All right, we're going to go up to the 220. And that, guys, is why I love Kills oil-based primer. Smooth as glass. Smooth as glass. There, so we don't move it down.
You want to make sure you get a good overspray on your arm there. All right, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let's see, we got another piece hanging up here. Painted our little coin door bracket. I'm kind of not sure where this goes. It's hard to see the screws or the holes, the original holes from the front. Slide it out. Okay, now that we can see back here. Okay, guys, that's really weird. Okay, so this bracket does not go on the lock side, it goes on the hinge side, and I think it may actually be to block anybody from sticking something through the crack in the door and hitting the trigger. That's exactly what that bar does, guys, is it blocks the hole around the hinge where people can't stick anything in there to get to the coin latch. Yeah, if you see right there, that blocks the hinge. There's a small gap around the hinge, and I guess somebody could actually reach in and trigger the coin mechanism and get free games. So, all right, well, we got it pulled out. Let's start looking at our wiring harness here, because we're getting down. All right, while we're at it, we're going to be going through this harness and cleaning things up too on it as well. 2 rainbow cables here. Let's get some of our spare parts out. Our side arc. Got another nifty little thing here. Let's see here. Let's look at our cord here. Our power cord. You know what? Our power cord looks like garbage. All right. I mean, actually, it's still a strong, sturdy cord, but this thing's been painted and drug around, and it's in rough shape. About the only thing I can think of saving off of this is the Molex connector on the end. So we'll probably snip that off and save it. These wires here still look a little bit dingy. I'm gonna stick these in my sonic cleaner, let them clean up. Okay, I like that. That turned out really nice and shiny. Not too shiny, but nice and clean. Let's get all of our little tabs here. You know what? Those things look really grody. How about we clean those up before we use those? All right, I'm gonna run these through the ultrasonic cleaner a little bit and see how they do. Just so that way I say I got a purpose for owning this thing. I'm not gonna do it in here in this room. I don't want any kind of fumes or whatever to come out of the soap. I think I'm just gonna put some mean green cleaner in this thing and let her go. Oh, actually, I got the original simple green. So load this thing up and set it up out here. I had this extra cage, but I don't believe this cabinet uses it. Yeah, this cabinet does not use that cage. That is a Nintendo PCB cage, but this Donkey Kong cabinet didn't use that. What it had was this. And it rests in here like so. And it hangs there. Now, right now, the PCB is at my house, wrapped up nice and safe. But we're going to put the cage in there for now. I don't think I'm supposed to have 2 of these, am I? Yeah, maybe I am. Yeah. Okay. One goes there. One goes there. plugs in there. Our marquee light plugs in there. All right. A couple of cut wires there that we're going to have to sort out. These connectors will go up here to that and go across to our control panel right there. Oh, right. It's not a wing nut, it is a wing bolt screw. It's got wings on it, but it's a bolt with wings. Oh, still got those factory fuses that we're going to hang back up in there. You know, I'm beginning to wonder, I think it only had one screw holding it in when it got here. So we're going to have to acquire another one somewhere. And I know I'm going to pull all this back out, but I really, right now, I'm just trying to fit everything, make sure everything's got a place, and make sure everything's still here. Even our cut-off power cord here. We're going to thread it back through just so that way we can figure out where, make sure we know where it goes. And I think it went right here to our power switch. Would be my best guess. Yeah. And our ground goes there too. That's where our grounds all go. Right here to the power switch there. All right, we got some wiring issues we got to fix here where somebody cut the power wire, twisted it together, and soldered it, and then they just wrapped it up with tape. So we got to address that. Oh, also these spare parts out of the way here. So I'm fixing to have to go in there and dig out all the itty bitty tiny control panel screws, which isn't going to be fun. I'm going to hang this up and let it dry. All right, guys, as nice as the air condition has been in this room, it's just too small. All right, I'm not getting any, this is getting to be too much trouble to work with. I'm going to carry this back out to the main shop, and we're fixing to get started on something. All right, so we got our 9/16, 25 foot of 9/16 C-molding. And we're going to start, actually, no, I can't even do that. Because I just remembered I don't have a hammer. So I had this nice tan mallet, rubber mallet, and it was tan, which is really good for T-molding because it doesn't leave black marks all over it like a black rubber hammer would do. And somebody decided to take it and use it to go put in flooring, and it never came back. So we're dead in the water again. All right, we're gonna get something done tonight, though. All right. right. Now, as far as I can tell, Nintendo just had these little nail-on feet that went in the corners. Plus, they didn't really have any leg levelers to them, so I'm going to put these leg levelers on the bottom. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot to them. You just drill a hole and drive them in. We worked really hard putting that base on there. We don't want to tear it off again. All right. It just says drill a small hole. It doesn't say what size or anything. And we can use any kind of hammer we want on this. Oh yeah, that's going to work perfect. All right, now we got little feet on there. Now we're just going to stand this board back up. All right, got a little bit of a problem. I don't know how many popsicles I can pack on this camera to try to keep it going. Got the feet on it. My hand trucks are too short for me to reach under and stand it back up. And it's trying to fall off the hand truck. So I'm going to have to wait on one of the kids to get down here to give me a hand to stand it back up. Guys, I'm just so irritated with starting and stopping, and I really want to get through with this project. I'm going to go ahead and use this hammer, and I may regret it. You know what though? We can improvise. All right. This way, getting stuff done around here. Yep, see, you don't need sophisticated tools. You just need, to be smarter. Let's start there. Okay, we're gonna have trouble making that corner. These are my favorite little guys to use in T-molding. All right, so I'm gonna take this right here. And I'm gonna cut a little pie slice out of it there. And there. Here. Tap it in like that. We're going to keep on coming up just like that. And unroll that out. You know, that laid in there just perfect. I didn't even have to notch it. trim it up here in this corner again to make it around the end. Just a couple pie slices there. Marvelous, just marvelous. I'm actually going to cut this a little bit long because with it lying down I can't exactly get to the very end. Alright, and we're going to go over and repeat the same with this side. Couple more little pie slices there. Alright, we got a little bit left to do that control panel. Alright, we got our feet and our T-molded on. Let's stand it up. Man, they have shrink wrapped this thing so well. I'm worried I'm going to break it getting it open. There we go. Oh, man. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now I have this little instruction sheet card that goes right here. Find some tape to hold that down in place with. See, how are we looking there? Looks like we're a little crooked. I'm going by this blue line here. There we go. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's go check out our control panel. I'm going to put a second coat on this and we'll come back tomorrow because this is going to be a lot of wear in this area and I'd like a good heavy coat on there. So let's go ahead and put another coat on that and we'll come back and assemble this tomorrow. Hey, I said we were calling it a night. All right, so the other day I was cleaning up down here and I found a pack of Bondo spreaders that I had bought. I have no idea where they're at now. I have no idea. Stumbled on them, now they're gone. Found them. For some reason, they were in the cabinet with the Bondo. Who would do such a thing?